Hello, everyone. This is Raj, physical therapist, doctor of physical therapy, and I am the founder of SeniorCitizenWellbeing.com. And today we are going to talk about shoulder pain and not necessarily pain. We made another video about the pain, but today we are going to show some exercises. I got some therapy band and a dumbbell to give some demonstrations and how you can strengthen shoulder at home. These are very simple exercises you anyone can do, but the thing is, the key factor is how consistently are you doing it. The general principle is every other day. If you do on a regular basis for 6 weeks, you start seeing some improvement. Your shoulder starts to shape up like a rounded shape, which explains that it is muscular. So basically, if you're looking at your shoulder and you see a lot of bony surfaces, I mean, shoulder is really bony. You can feel the collarbone, clavicle, and acromion process. All this you can. They're under pretty much under the skin, but the deltoid muscle covers the whole shoulder. If you strengthen the deltoid muscle, you can see the muscle like bulking up. So if you keep the shoulder muscles strong, it shouldn't be really skinny, and you shouldn't feel complete bone surfaces. That's when you can generally tell that that is strong shoulder. So you need to work on this on a regular basis for at least 6 weeks. I would say this is if you have shoulder problems, you have to maintain the muscle strength um, lifelong. You just continue to work on it. You never really quit. But if even if you miss one day or one week, that's okay. You just have to pick back up and just start working on it on a regular basis. And so we are going to make it a little fun. uh, Ryan Perron is with me, Dr. Ryan Perron, physical therapist, and let me bring him up. Hey, Ryan.
Good morning.
Good morning. So please, can you briefly, tell about shoulder strengthening exercises?
Yeah, there's shoulders are what do they call it? A multi-axis joint, so they can go in all different directions: forward, backwards, sideways, twisting, rotating. So the shoulder has a lot of different muscles to work in those different motions, and so that's kind of what our body does in itself. It has what they call different planes of motions. And so, what we're going to share with you guys is helping the shoulder to be strengthened in those various range of motions. And I'm on board with Raj totally about the consistency of doing these things. And one of the advice I would give is as we go through these motions, you want to just make sure it's as pain free as possible. Sometimes the shoulder might be designed to go farther than that, but maybe the pain or discomfort might keep someone from going that far. So, of course, with the advice of your physical therapist, just working, in that range of motion that's tolerable, and then just through the consistency, you find that you start to get more of that range of motion back too.
Okay, great. So let's start the exercises. The, um, I was in a internship in Utah, Sandy actually, and my supervisor, my instructor, Damon. I can't remember his last name, but he they were talking about Fantastic Five, Super Seven exercises for the shoulder. So that's where I got this Super Seven concept. So basically, in the shoulder is you can do a lot of movements, as Ryan was saying. There are so many planes and different ranges of motion you can work on. So basically, the basic exercise, basic movements are flexion. This is you're taking your arm all the way up. That's flexion. If you keep your arm away from you on the side and take it up, this is abduction, abduction or abduction. And if you take your arm back like this is extension. So I'm moving only my arm. You have to make sure that you're not doing this, or when you do this, don't bring movement from any other part. It should be coming from just the joint. Let's say if you can only go this 90 degrees or 45 degrees, whatever you got, you just work in that range to start with. And if you have a limitation in the range, first thing is you have to see your physical therapist. That can be stretched out, or some people may need manipulation by a surgeon. So some people don't need manipulation. Some people just, if you go to physical therapist, if they do some stretching exercises, passive range of motion, you should be fine. You should be able to recover that. I've seen so many patients, Ryan, with the shoulder problems or neck problems. They come to me with the restricted motion in these joints, and I stretch, and within 4 to 5 weeks, I mean, within 2, 3 sessions, they come to me, very excited. I'm seeing a lot more range of motion. All I'm doing is just stretching. But the thing is, I stretch for 30 seconds. I take them into the end range and stretch it for about 30 seconds. But again, this is not, this needs to be done with supervision of a physical therapist. To me, it's not, to me, it's simple, because I've been doing this for 13 years. But when you have a problem, you will be really scared, and you won't be able to do any of these movements without the help. So you need to see a physical therapist if you have any pain or limitation, restriction in your movement. So those are the 3 simple movements in the shoulder. And also there's an internal rotation. If you do this is internal rotation, external rotation. And those are 3 plus 2, 5. So those are the basic movements. The exercises I'm going to show you will address different muscle groups also. So the first one is, make sure your thumb is up. I don't know if you can. So I'm this is the therapy band. I'm holding it a little closer, maybe that length, and I'm going up all the way. And you just have to make sure that you're not keeping the distance too far, which becomes easy. It has to be tolerable. You should be able to go in full range, but it should be a little hard than what you think is, you can do easily. So that's one. So make sure the thumb is up again. So this is one exercise where you're doing the shoulder flexion. And the second one is going sideways. For this one, I want to leave a little more room, a little more length of the therapy band, because I have to go all the way up. Again, the thumb is up. My thumb is up. Ryan, do you want to explain why it is important to keep the thumb up?
Yeah, when you have the thumb facing up, you're externally rotating the shoulder so that you're minimizing impingement, because in the head of the humerus, yeah. So if you're doing it with the thumb down, you start to, in the shoulder, it impinges and it goes bone to bone, and that's hard on a rotator cuff muscle. And so Sometimes people do it wrong and then they feel it in the shoulder, like, yeah, I'm getting a good workout here, but really they're impinging the supraspinatus tendon, and it
Right.
radiates pain down here, so it gives a false sense of getting a good workout. But yeah, protect yourself.
Right. Good. And the third exercise is extension, and I'm holding the band. This one I'm going to hold a little closer, the band a little closer, because it's only 45 degrees or so, the movement. So I want to make it a little hard. So I'm going, my elbow is straight, my thumb is forward, facing forward towards me, away from me, but forward. So that's the third exercise. So these three exercises mainly work on your deltoid. I mean, there are small muscles, but the shoulder main bigger muscle is the deltoid muscle. It has the front, anterior, lateral, and posterior branches of the muscle. So we are strengthening those three. And the other one, the fourth one, is I'm holding the band, but this one, I'm keeping my thumb down and about 45 degrees. I'm taking away from my body and going up. And this is hitting that supraspinatus muscle, one of the rotator cuff muscles. So a lot of people, as they age, their shoulder is limited in range of motion. They're restricted about 80, 90 degrees, because these smaller muscles, which are called rotator cuff muscles, are lost strength or tore or muscle wasting. So these are the causes for rotator cuff problems. So if you work on these 4 different exercises I just showed, thumbs up and going up, thumbs up and going sideways, and taking your arm backwards, and keeping your thumb down about 45-degree angle going up. So these are the 4 major exercises for your shoulder to strengthen on a regular basis. If you keep doing those, you should be, in general, fine. Really, you should do well. And there are more, because I showed you there is internal rotation, external rotation. So we talked about 4 exercises. There are more, 3 more. So the third one, the fifth one is, I'm trying to figure, there you go. All right. So the fifth one is going up from 90 degrees. So I think these are called military exercise, right?
Yeah, kind of a military press.
Right, military press. So you're starting at 90 degrees of shoulder abduction and going straight up.
Yeah, because when you start from that angle, you're primarily working the deltoids from 90 up. And then when you go below 90 to 90, that's more the rotator cuff muscles getting into that position for the deltoid, the major muscles, to take advantage of that position.
Right. Yeah. So that's the fifth one. And the sixth and seventh, so you're holding the band and actually holding the elbow about 90 degrees, the shoulder about 90 degrees, and the elbow at 90 degrees, and doing like this. So I this is external rotation. I'm going backwards. So make sure what you're comfortable with. The therapy band can be this way, but when it is like this, my thumb is being pressed. So you can bring the band over the four fingers and make it easier, make it easy to perform this exercise. You just have to play with the band. So this is external rotation. I started feeling a little burn in my shoulder already.
Mm-hmm.
So I did some upper body exercise last night before going to bed, actually. So my shoulder is a little sore. So that's external rotation, and the internal rotation is a little tricky. So you have to hold the band on the opposite side, and you're going like this. So you're going internally. Yeah, you're going towards the opposite shoulder. So that's a Super 7. So those are 7 different exercises. I know it's really, I just showed you the basic ones, but I think this is a good start. We have never shown any exercises on this channel, and this is the first time we thought it will be good to start doing these. And you can, if you don't have a therapy band, you can use a dumbbell. This is 5 pounds dumbbell. You can do the same exercises with little modifications. You can work on these exercises as well. Ryan, do you want to briefly explain about how the shoulder, different planes and different angles of shoulder movements?
Yeah. There's like you'll find that the shoulder can be placed in many different positions in that. Like if I have the elbow down to my side, that's external rotation like that. And then if I have it out to the side, I'm doing external rotation like that. If I have it above my head, that's external rotation there. So I mean, there's all these different planes, and so I like using the band for a number of reasons. So when you saw Raj stretching the band, the muscle that was doing the motion was performing at what's called a concentric contraction. And then that's not the only thing that you can do with that. You can also say, okay, now I'm not going to let the band just pull it right back into place. I'm going to control the band and go back slowly in a controlled motion. And that's called an eccentric muscle contraction on the same muscle that just did the concentric contraction. And so those are important in our functions of daily living. We need to pick up a cup of water to drink, and then we need to control it and slowly let it down and not just let gravity drop it for us. And then there's another muscle contraction called a synergistic, which is a stabilizing. And so that muscle stabilizes the joint. So perhaps another joint down from the shoulder, let's say like the elbow, needs to do its motion. And you don't want the shoulder being so weak that the elbow trying to do its motion can't do it because the shoulder can't hold itself. And so those exercises that Raj just did was working all 3 of those types of muscle contractions. And so a lot of what we do is just kind of show, okay, this is what we're doing. This is what you can do as an exercise. And then as you do them consistently and get familiar with them, then we can take those same exercises and say, okay, now this is how you do it. And it becomes a whole different ball game. And it's kind of like getting more bang for the buck, knowing what you're doing, not just knowing what you're doing, but how you're doing it. And you get more efficient with it and get more out of it. But as Raj was sharing with us earlier, it's important to get the range of motion back, what you can get back before you actually start doing any strengthening, because you want to be strengthened throughout that whole range of motion that you've acquired.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Ryan, for joining me today. And thank you, everyone. Please, if you are watching this on Facebook or YouTube, please, comment. And we are recording this before live. and we are going to play this live. I think that will give us a little more time to play with the video. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos and liking what we are trying to do, and hopefully these are helpful. And if you feel these are helpful, please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Anything else, Ryan? Before
Just work at it. Don't give up. Just keep
Yep.
trying and enjoy the process. Don't let the outcome get in the way and think you're not there yet. It's not worth it. It's the process that counts, and we're all in it together.
Yep. All right. That's the end of this video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.